Hello, hello, crafty friends. It is Anne with Whimsically United. Let me find us on my iPad because I've got my camera turned backwards. So I'm gonna try to see what you guys can see, if I can get this to cooperate. It's always fun when you turn your camera around. It's like, where am I? What are they seeing? Can they see? Or do I have it upside down? Like the other day, you saw my ceiling. Was not very entertaining. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can. Yeah, bear with me just a second here, and let's see if I can bring this down without crashing everything. You know how that is. All right, there we go. As you hop on, tell me hi. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know how your weather is. I hope you all had a beautiful, blessed weekend. We are going to be working on a little tray. I got these from Walmart. They came in a 3-pack. This one, I believe, is the largest one. I've got one left and I've used one, and I cannot remember if I used the smallest one or if I used the largest one. So either this is the middle one or this is the largest one. Not 100% sure. This is how it came without of my little green tape in there. And I added a little bit of, what is this brown paint called? I don't know. I don't remember. This is Country Chic. This is called Leather Bound. That is the name of it. And I added it to the sides and the bottom just to give it a little bit of a different look. I have not done this side. That's what that side looks like. That's what the whole box looked like. Just like this. And let's do this side real quick. And again, as you hop on, just say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. If you are the first time here, welcome, welcome. I will try to periodically look at the comments. And I just put a little bit of that leather-bound paint on my plate. And I'm just here and there putting a couple of dash marks. I am doing it a little bit darker on the edges, like it has been. The edges are darker and the inside is a little bit lighter. I go all the way across to get the rest of the paint down. And I'll just tap back in and just made a couple of more marks on here. I try to get the top. Just a little bit here and there, and the bottom. I don't want solid coverage. Let me pull that back a little bit so I can see. I like that. That looks good. Maybe a little dab here. Nothing fancy. Hey Sherry, how are you? Are you safe and sound from all the storms that came through over the weekend everywhere? And I've done the same technique on the bottom. I just randomly put little blobs of paint, so to speak. There's the sides, and that's what the bottom looks like. And then I went across like this to distribute some of the paint. I am going to leave the inside like that, and I also went with my dry brush over the top right here to just give it a little bit of that brown look. It is very, very faint, and you probably cannot see it with the naked eye, and I intensified the brown on each corner a little bit, and that's exactly how I wanted it. So we are going to work on the inside now. I have made two little marks right here with my tape. We are going to use the Layering Patriotic Barn Quilt pattern, and it is a 3-set or 3 layers. This is layer 1. Oh, goodness, my granddaughter was up here, and I've got fabric and snippets and whatnot. This is layer 1. This way, and in order to make those register marks, I put tape down, and I am eyeballing. I am not gonna measure to see if it is even, if I need to move it here, there, or whichever way. This is gonna be just eyeballing it. Let's scoot it over just another smidge. Looks good to me. I am going to secure it. Hey Jeannie, how are you? How is Colorado? I am going to tape that down. And the colors I'm using tonight is Neverland, which is a green. I am going to use Vanilla Frosting, which is like a cream or an off-white. And I am using the Leather Bound, which is the brown I just used. And I'm going to use Fresh Mustard. Fresh Mustard is first. I am going to use the 5/8 inch brush from Essential Stencil. And I am just going to use it out of the lid because there's plenty of paint in that lid. And I am going to hold that lid down so I can get me some paint. That's what my brush looks like right now. We'll see if that is enough or if I need to load it a little bit more. I think we have enough. And I want this to be a little bit rustic, so if I don't get full coverage, I am okay with it. I'm okay if I can still see through, because I want that rustic look. I might put another coat on here. And this is what I'm talking about. You see how you can see the bottom still? But I'm kind of okay with that. Loaded my brush again. I'm going to come in the middle, and then I am going to go in from all the points. And I love this barn quilt. I love quilts. I just think they're beautiful. And I envision this piece telling a story, maybe from your grandma, that you have this piece passed down. And maybe she painted this by hand. I love creating pieces that have meaning, that will mean something to you, that will invoke a feeling of home, especially if you've moved away from home and you see something and that reminds you, you know, like a cornfield or wheat field or cornflowers. You're like, man, that reminds me of home. And that's what I want with this tray. I want, oh, that was not good. Get the brown on there. What we do, we just get another coffee filter, see? Happy accidents. Happy accidents. Isn't that what Mr. Bob Ross always said? If you have a lot of paint on your brush, start in the middle and then come in from the sides. If you're a big swirler and you are very close to the edge, tape it off. That way you will not go over the edge. Don't forget this little triangle right here. This one. Then we have another little square. I just think, I like old pieces, and I just think that they tell stories. They tell us about different eras, things that have been, and I want to kind of capture that feeling that you know, man, we had this in my childhood. Well, this reminds me of my aunt, of my grandma. She used to sew these quilts, and they were just gorgeous. That's kind of what I want people to see when they see these pieces. I want them to feel like home. I just keep picking up just a little bit, the tiniest little bit. And I push it into my brush. I think I like that. I think that looks good. Now you can lift it up. That was layer 1. That is perfect weather. Ah, love it. You know what? I forgot to put my register marks on there. Oh, goodness. All right, we're winging it. I forgot to mark my little spots. Let me dry this first. It's always fun when I do something. Oh, if you have a big enough tray, you could have put the stencil in this way and put it on the corner. That would have been really cool. Yeah, I'm going to lay this back down. I am not going to be that advantageous. I think I can line it up, but I want to be better safe than sorry, and I am going to lay this back down, and I am going to mark it. Good thing that these are so easy to be lined up again. And I accidentally made a mark right there with my pencil. Good thing we can erase pencil marks. Now I got my register marks. Now I can lay this on here and it will be right. Looks right to me. What do I do with the tape? Have you guys used this stencil yet? Oh, you haven't gotten these stencils yet. Most likely they haven't shipped out yet. Actually, I think they're shipping out today. I think they're shipping out today, ladies. All right, I am going to move that out of my way. Move that out of the way, and I am going to use the green. I didn't need that much green, but that's okay. This is called Neverland, and this is another country chic paint. It is a chalk style paint, but it has a top coat built in, so I don't have to seal it. It is really good for porch leaners and door hangers. And we're just going to add this green in right here. Anytime where you have the bridges, just be careful. I go with the bridges. That way I know that I am not going to move them. And again, if this is too close to the edge for you, then put a piece of tape or a piece cardboard or something that you can hold right there, so that it will not bleed over the edge. I think this is going to look really pretty. The last color we're going to use is that light color. We're going to put that. Those are going to be stars inside the yellow. And my thought with this was like a sunflower with the green leaves. I'm going to call this my sunflower quilt block. That is kind of what I've envisioned. I know it was designed to be a 4th of July stencil, but I feel that it can be any color. You don't have to use them in the color that they came. They can be in any color. You can make any color combination that you would like. And I'm loading it up with just very, very, very little paint. I'm going to turn this around so I can see this better. Did any of you order this stencil? I really like this one. This is so versatile. You can use it for so many different things. Who's a quilter in here? Or who's got a grandma or mom or an aunt that quilted? And even if you're watching on replay, let me know. I would love to know. See, I'm from Germany and we didn't have quilts like this that I know of. So when we came here to the States and I learned about quilts, I was like, I want a quilt like that. So my first quilt that I made, I went to a class and I made a log cabin. That was the class. It was a log cabin quilt. And I absolutely love that quilt. It was literally just different strips. I had to go to Walmart and bought just different colors and browns and greens and reds. I didn't know what I was doing as far as buying fabric. And I sewed all the strips and everything together, but I quilted it by hand because I didn't know how to quilt with a machine. And I loved it. It came out so pretty. Not perfect, but pretty. It was my masterpiece. And I absolutely love it. It was a fun learning experience. Like I said, I had never done that before. I was nervous. And I have lots of books with different quilt patterns and things because I just enjoyed learning about quilts. And then I learned about barn quilts. You know, when you ride through the countryside and you see the quilts on the side of barns. And I just love it. I did not fully cover this. This is not full coverage. But that's how I intended. That's how I want it. Layer 2. Turn this back around this way so that I'll see where I need to be. This is layer 3. And this is our stars, and we're going to do that in the vanilla frosting. Let me zap it real quick. And that's the reason why I used the brown. Like I said, I was looking for like a sunflower theme, so I call this my sunflower block. You've got the brown, which represents the earth or the dirt. You got the green for the leaves, the yellow for the flower, and now we're gonna put the cream color stars on there because they have different is lined up. Different flowers have different colors. And again, you can make this in any color that you want. I'm looking to see if this is lined up pretty good. It looks good to me. I hope the cream is differentiated enough from this background, but we'll see. If we need to tweak it a little bit, we can. Another brush. We've only used 3 so far. Who else is on us? C4. I don't see. If you guys are commenting, I've got my phone turned around backwards. I do not see comments other than the Sherry and Jeannie that have commented. So if you're commenting, I am sorry, I am not seeing it if it is showing up on my phone. So I do apologize. It's not showing up. I don't see any more comments. See what this is gonna look like when we are done. I can't wait to see it. Uh-oh, did this shift? I think my stencil just shifted. Yes, it did. Alright, I'm gonna have to put another piece of tape in there because it just shifted on me. So bear with me just a second. There we go. And I will probably go over this one more time to intensify this cream color a little bit on the yellow background. See what we have here. It is just about the same color as the box. I am just going into the offload pile, as you can see. And I will go back over everything here in just a moment with, I will dry it and then I'll go over it one more time. Your lighter colors, your whites, and sometimes your yellows, they need 2 coats. If you are new to me, I welcome you. I will invite you to follow. We create all kinds of different things using stencils from Essential Stencil. I sometimes use napkins and transfers. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jeannie. We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of learning where sometimes things don't work out the way I had planned. Sometimes they turn out better. Sometimes they don't. And you never know what you get. I love creating, I love sharing, and I love the Lord. So if you love the Lord and you enjoy watching creative things happening in front of your eyes, please, by all means, follow my page. Sometimes you can go to the offload pile on your coffee filter, paper plate, or brown paper, whatever you are using to offload on, and pick up paint from there before you have to go back to your paint and load up. I'm going to go over that star one more time. I think we got it all. Like I said, I wasn't looking for complete full coverage. Oh, that turned out good. I am gonna even distress it more by going over it with a little bit of sandpaper. Let me take these two down off. And a little bit of that white came off with my tape. I'm okay with that, not a big deal. And there's the inside. And there's our brown on the outside. And it came just like this, so we got our little tray all ready to go. I am going to dry this a little bit, and then I'm going to I'll go ahead and throw this away. And that way I will not make a mess. Somebody was burning something around here somewhere because it smelled like smoke up there, and you could see smoke. I don't know who that was or what they were doing, but man, it smelled like smoke. Bit of paper towel and wipe that out to get all that dust out. And this is what I mean. You can still see right here the bottom of the box, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want it to be crisp in color. That's exactly what I wanted it to be. And I purposefully left the inside in that light color. We can go in and darken it up if we want to. Do we want to darken the sides up like the outside, or do we want to leave it the way it is? I was thinking about using a little bit of Mod Podge and some cinnamon on the corners to make them a little bit more rustic. But first, we're going to add some more stencils. We have this set. This is a Stencil of the Month Club set from May, last month. And I am going to use Bless This Nest. Obviously, it does not fit on there like this. So I am going to break it up. But before I do that, I have got a wonderful friend, one of my Source sisters, gave me some cutouts. And I think these came from possibly Grace and Tattered Lace. I'm not 100% sure though. I'm going to put the little bird right here. He's gonna go right there. Now before I add him on here, I am going to use some of this light color, and I am going to paint him in that light color. And we will just dress him. I'm just going to get him ready for when he has his debut on the little piece of the box, our little tray. The beak I'm going to do in that same yellow. I'm going to find a little tiny one. And I got a little bit of that yellow. That way it matches the inside. And then my eye is gonna be brown. I just dipped my brush in the paint and just gave him a little eyebrow. And we will just dress him in a little bit. I am going to do the same thing with the heart. We're going to put a heart on the other side as well. I've got paint all over my hands. I don't know where that came from. Sometimes I get paint and don't even know where I got it from. That ever happened to you? You look at your hands when you're done and you're like, did any paint get under my project? Because I'm wearing it all. And we might give this a second coat. Right now I'm just leaving it to dry. And then we'll go back and add another coat if we need to. Hey Trisha, my back is better. Hey Cindy, my back is better. The medicine has worked, but I'm also taking Motrin at night so it will not flare up. I'm going to give it a little bit more because I don't want to start hurting again. Alright, so we're going to use Bless This Nest. This is out of the May stencil of the month set. And it will not all fit on here. I'm gonna have to see. I cut this out and laid it out so that I could find out where I need what to be. Because our little guy is going over here. And then Bless This is going here. And Nest is going here. I'm going to have to stand up, ladies, so I can see better. You guys know I like to play around with things. I think that will be fine right there. Okay, I'm gonna do nest first. Can you guys see? Take that down. I need another hand. Any of you lend me a hand? Can you lend me a hand? And for any of you that just happen on this piece, the tray came from Walmart. It was in a set of 3, and I honestly don't remember if that one was the small, the middle one, or if that one was the bigger one. Don't remember. I'm gonna be real careful that I don't get into those 2 words. And my stencil is lifting, so that's why I'm having these 2 fingers right here to hold it down, because it is pulling it. I hit it with the heat gun real quick. I will check comments here in just a second. I have to refresh my iPad in order to see comments. Yes, I am so glad. Oh yeah, I make a mess. But that way I know I crafted. I done something. Crafted the other day with my granddaughter. She was here on Friday. And she said, can we go paint in your room? I'm like, of course we can. So we came up here and we painted. I am going to stipple a little bit because I like that texture. It is bringing some of that brown through, and it's looking really cool. I wish you guys could see that. It's like it is distressing it. Oh yeah, I like that. So we came up here, we painted, we drew, we glued strips and different things, and we just had a ball. Got her one of those little journals that I make, and we just decorated all over it, and she just had fun. The nice thing about these stencils, and I let her use some transfers. Of course, she's 3. She wasn't too good in doing the transfer, but she had fun trying. position my tape. So we made some memories. Some fun memories. That's what it's all about, folks. And that's why I said this piece is kind of like a memory piece that, you know, your grandma, your aunt, your mom, they quilted and they made the quilt and then they made this little tray. Just a time to reminisce and remember. So when you see this tray, even though it was just created, you have that feeling of home. It tells a story, and it's a good conversation piece. When I stipple, it brings that brown underneath through, and it looks really cool. Let me see if that's good. I'm going to darken it just a tit more. Just a smidge. And on the other side, I was going to put home, but I decided to put the perfect blend. Oh, I like that. It looked like a little speckled egg. It really does. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can see that. Just look at the letters right there. You see it looks like a speckled egg. I love how that turned out. I've got a really long delay. I just love the way that looks. And again, I want that old rustic. It's been around for a while. Look, this can be a tray to use in your living room for like to put your remote in. You can put a candle in. You can use it to put oh my goodness, I can't think. What else could you put in it? You give me some ideas. If you crochet or use fabric to work with, you can put, our heart is going to go on this side. You can put, what is it called? Needles and yarn and fabric in here. Had to think there for a minute. My brain wasn't working. So what would you use this tray for? What would you put in this tray? We're going to do the perfect blend. I think that'd be really good to use for your crafting, to put your fabric, like I'll make those fabric flowers. That will be really neat to put those pieces in there. Now Oh, I gotta remember not to do blend. If you might not remember not to do a word, tape it off. That'd be the simplest way on not forgetting. Sometimes when I get to talking, I'll forget. So that will be the best way to not forget. Again, we're going to do the same technique. We're going to be stippling this. Add a little bit more paint. Some areas are stippling more than others, or blending more than others, I should say. Oh, awesome! Stationery! Yes! I didn't even think about that. Oh, that is such a good idea. You could put it on your desk to hold stationery, envelopes, and things like that. Or your journal, your Bible in your journal, or devotional. Man, you guys are awesome. I didn't even think about that. That is so cool. The little things make me happy. I get excited. I get excited. I just like pieces with meaning. I like pieces with a story to tell. So when I go thrifting, I always wonder, you know, what story do these things have to tell? And I just recently got some wooden spools, thread spools, off of Marketplace. And I asked the gentleman, I said, what's the story? Is there a story? I said, this is a weird question, but is there a story? And he probably thought I was nuts. And he's like, what are you talking about, lady? And then I told him, I said, you know, I'm interested in knowing where things came from. And because the gentleman was from Ohio. And I normally don't buy anything from another state. I rather have it local. And he said that his wife uses them for different things, and that they had a bunch that they were able to purchase, and she looked through the ones that she needed and wanted for her crafting, and the rest of them got sold. And he was very nice to work with. Because I was thinking they got it from an estate sale. Because I was wondering, you know, what story is behind these? Are they from grandma or from her aunt? Or, you know, what do they have to say? Oh, that looks so good. I am very happy with the way that turned out. And we could have used This Is Us. We could have used Home. Stay Cozy, we would have had to split up. Live Simply would have fit. So there is a lot of good sayings on here that would have fit on here perfectly. And for those of you that hopped on a little bit later, we use this layering barn quilt pattern. And I love barn quilts. We got a shed. It's not an old shed. It's just a shed. But I'm thinking about, I would love to put a barn quilt on there. Bless this nest. Perfect blend. And I will sand this here in just a second. Let me dry this real quick. We got 3 minutes then. Amanda with Metal Modern Design will be on the Essential Stencil page to show us some creativeness. And I am just going to take that yellow that we had. Nope, I'm not going to take the yellow. I don't want to use the yellow. I'm just going to use my antique wax. I am darkening up the edges a little bit of this heart. Because I'm going to add it to this to the edge. And again, I want that rustic look. I'll just darken it a little bit. And that is going to go right there. And I think I am going to go, where did my brown go? I think I am going to use some of that brown that we had. But antiquing wax did not do the way I wanted it. So I am going to use this brown. That is the leather bound from Country Chic. I just sanded the edges off, and I'm going to add just a little bit more brown right there to the top. That one side is darker. As much as I don't like to be perfect, I don't like it when the one side is a little darker than the other side. There we go. Now we can add that up here. And I'm using the 3-in-1 glue. I'll just hold it in place for just a little bit and it fixes up real quick. Get the glue off of the top right here. And there's our little heart. And then we will add the bird on this side. And I didn't like the way that worked, so I am going to use the brown on the bird as well. I'm just outlining him. This is much easier if you use your stencil brush. I just want to outline it so it'll set apart just a little bit. And again, it'll have that primitive, rustic, homespun look. I like that word, homespun. If there's anything that you guys need from Essential Stencil or anything that you want to look up, check out, visit their page, Essential Stencil. They have an app and a site, essentialstencil.com. And anytime that you go and you're interested in anything, you can always use my code, WK21. And that will save you a checkout every time. So do not hesitate to use that to save. I like that you guys can save using the code. That's a good thing. I'm just brushing over this really lightly. Like making indications of some shadowing. Like indication of maybe a wing. Just ever so lightly. Nothing fancy. Just a real light indication. Hopefully our heart will not fall off. And again, this is the 3-in-1 glue. It adheres really good. And this is flat on the bottom, so it will sit flat with the tray. And we can add a little bit of nesting material down there. But since it is a tray, I'm not sure if I'm going to. And here we are. And there's our Bless This Nest. our barn quilt, and then the perfect blend. And I might add a little heart on the other side. I'm not sure yet. Should I add a little heart on this side? I'll do that offline, of course. But what do you guys think? Do you like it? It's our little tray, and I love it to put stationery in there. I thought that is a really, really great idea to put stationery in here. What a wonderful idea. Let me pull a name real quick. Thank you. Hey, Dorothy. Thanks for sprinkling, Miss Cindy. Miss Sherry is going into our Happy Mail bucket. I appreciate you guys. Hop on over to Essential Stencil. I know Miss Amanda is already on. I went over a little bit. I appreciate you guys. Remember, I am not on tomorrow. I will be back on Thursday morning, unless an appointment comes up and I have to change the time. But Thursday morning, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. Remember, use my code WK21 to save you some money at checkout on the Essential Stencil site. And I appreciate you guys for sprinkling, sharing, hearts, and all the good stuff. I know it works with the camera backwards, but love you guys. See you all on Thursday. Bye.